Hello everybody. So, not a lot of you know that I've already started this sampler. I just kind of wanted something quick and thoughtless to work on, and where this is pretty much exclusively color blocking, I thought why not one night. Sorry if you hear it creaking, I'm sitting in a gaming chair. And I'm very phlegmy today. So how has everybody been? Because times are a-changin', weather's getting colder, at least here in the US, in my area on the East Coast. And just an update, the shooter has been found. He is no longer with us. It was basically like a mass homicide, suicide issue. So we aren't worried about him anymore. Kids are back in school. And yeah, we're just working on returning to normal. But let's focus on the positive. Happy Halloween, everybody. I really am bad at coming up with things to talk about, so I guess I'll just ramble on about my life. So my son, so sorry, I'm getting over a cold. So my son has never gone trick-or-treating, so I honestly wasn't even keeping track of the fact that today was Halloween. He doesn't have a costume. He will not be getting candy because with his autism, he spent a few years unable to have his teeth brushed. And so sadly, 2 of his molars need to be removed, and the place we were referred to called me and left me a number saying, hey, call us back so we can schedule the extractions. And I've called them back several times. It's been over a week and nobody's gotten back, but I do not want him eating candy with his teeth being so bad. I will likely try to find an alternative he can eat, but that's just kind of also another reason why we don't go trick-or-treating, because his autism, and it's just overstimulating. So not only would he be wearing textures and colors that he wouldn't normally be comfortable in, but he would also be around all these other children and going to all these strangers' homes. So it's not really something that he is prepared to do yet. So we will not be trick-or-treating. Our neighborhood is also kind of spread out, but it's also really cold today. Like, why is it suddenly so cold the day that we want everyone to be outside and do their trick-or-treating? But I did give his bus driver permission to send him home with a piece of candy, but that is probably the only candy he will get. I'm just having the hardest time seeing this. So we didn't really do much this weekend, obviously, because my foot is still broken and it's just kind of been hard to get around. I did try and cook. I successfully made a really good chicken salad, which is the first time I ever made chicken salad, because I've made everything under the sun except for the most basic of dishes. And I made mine with, I made mine with rotisserie chicken, Kewpie mayo. I just cannot do this, Stitch. Hold on again. I know. Alright, rotisserie chicken, Kewpie mayo, crushed walnuts, cranberries, celery, and parsley. And it is honestly so delicious. I'm really happy I didn't completely mess it up. Oop, that was too far in. I'm used to doing this with a flashlight on, so just bear with me if I keep missing stitches. I'm doing my best. So I really wanted to go apple picking, but I think it's a little too late to be doing that now. We usually do go every year, but you know, circumstances change year to year, so sadly I don't think we're gonna be able to go. But I'm thinking now that his favorite trampoline, indoor playground, trampoline park thing is open again, I can drag him there when my foot's a little bit better so he can run around and play and go on the slides and in the ball pits. And he, because of Peppa Pig, calls it soft play. And he'll bring me the socks we have left over from previous trips there, and he'll be like, "Do you want soft play? Do you want soft play?" And it's just so cute because he doesn't say "I want," he says "Do you want?" And we've been trying to break that habit, but it's been difficult. Like if you repeat "I want" soft play enough to him, he will then say it. And I try not to reward him or acknowledge him otherwise until he says it correctly. But if he doesn't get there, that's fine. I'll acknowledge him in the end. Because, you know, straight up ignoring your child isn't cool. But other than that, all is good. Ooh, come on. So are you guys going trick-or-treating? If there are kids in your life that are still of trick-or-treating age, I am pretty sure there are still laws in some states here where if you're over a certain age, you cannot legally go trick-or-treating. It's kind of weird. I don't remember when that was passed, but something like that. What are you guys working on? I was gonna try and find something spooky, but I am not a huge fan of Halloween. Not because of like. Actually, no, I'm just not that much of a fan of Halloween. It was never that good for me as a child. It also gave me stress, and I would decorate my home for it if I had the stuff, but I've moved so many times, I've lost pretty much all of my decorations at this point. And I'm sorry if my color is changing on the screen. I have a video on mute playing. But, so sorry. But I'm not a super big fan of Halloween photos, is what I'm saying. Like the spooky stuff, but like wizards and witchcraft, I'm all for it. But when it comes to just like cats and witches' hats sitting on a pumpkin, that's just kind of too basic for me. Like they're cute, but I wouldn't like it enough to work on it. Which is a shame. I mean, there's a few I've seen that I like, but it's definitely too late now. So I'm just gonna leave it be and save my money as I should be doing, because, you know, end of the year taxes are coming up, and as a small business owner, you either get a tiny bit back or you end up having to pay. I'm pretty sure that I have my books set up so I am overpaying, so I do get money back at the end of the year, and that's just to give myself a little sense of security so I can splurge a tiny bit. It's also the time of year, like after February and stuff. That's usually when, if I need like to update my desk or make some changes to my computer or use new programs or go see accountants for specific things to make sure I'm starting the new year fresh, I'll usually use that money to go do that. And I do gotta say, H&R Block, They're amazing. I felt so bad. I messed up my first year, so I had to go to them so they could look over my first year and then at the same time file my second year. When I tell you that poor old man literally had to give me, like, if you put everyone's, like, information or phone, like, it was like a phone book, basically. My tax return was so thick, it was like 2 phone books. And that poor man had to organize it all in order and get all these flat folders that can barely hold any pages and an industrial stapler so he could keep all my documents together for me, and I felt terrible. And he had so many questions because selling through Etsy on top of like having your own website and domain, it gets really confusing for accountants because Etsy just likes to make everything miserable. So we basically just went off of, I think, my QuickBooks. So we got there, but thankfully this year it won't have to be like that. I might even be able to file them myself from home this year. So earlier this week, my son accidentally found his Christmas presents, or at least the few I did buy, and I was mortified. He was standing on my counter crawling on top of my fridge to get to the presents on the cupboards. And when he pulled the first one out of the bag and he saw what it was ABC toys, like alphabet plushies, which were not cheap. He smiled so big and he was so excited, and I felt terrible. I had to yell no, grab him off the counter, and immediately I took those gifts and I ran them right down over to his Grammy's house. I'm like, we are not getting into that now, buddy, because I cannot afford to buy you something else like that. Because that was expensive. And then everything else is like cheap toys that I know won't last him a week, so. Because his attention span is probably as short as mine. But he's still such a good boy. So it's about that time of year where I can drink hot chocolate again, cuddle up in my bed with my son, and watch movies. It's just hard to find movies he'll watch with me. Sometimes I'll just watch the ASMR videos he likes to watch, which is his favorite one is miniature food cooking. Like, she's cooking actual food, but it's mini. I don't know which bowl I came out of. I guess I'll find out if this pops out. Yep, okay. Let me just fix this real quick. Radio. Fold that a tiny bit. This canvas is very stiff, and I was almost debating doing this on my own fabric because I have this, not like a dark blue. I don't really know what to describe the color as, but it's somewhere between like a bluish purple, and it's also 14 count, but it's super beautiful, and I thought this image would have looked really good over the top of it. But ultimately, I'm just going to save my fabric because this kit came with fabric in it, so I'm going to save my personal fabric for when I buy counted kit patterns from Etsy or My Bobbin. I believe that's what it's called. You think I'd remember. I usually just favorite things on My Bobbin, then end up buying something from Etsy. And I have a few cute ones. I have one that's, I think it's called Fairy Pigs. Let me go check. So this is the picture. Golden fairy pigs. And it's super cute, and it's a soda pattern. And I did purchase this one on Etsy. This is just like the cover page. This isn't like the actual pattern or anything. But the cool thing about it is that they give you the stitches and then they tell you what sizes you need for which counts to have enough of your fabric. And that's super cool of them, honestly. And then right here, they tell you the colors and what they use. Super cute. I'm just not starting it until I'm done the paños counted cross stitch because yeah, I already started that one and I need to finish something before I start something else. And don't yell at me because I know I started this before I finished something else, but I'm almost done that the 6 Cuties 3, the girls on the vine. And I'll show you that too in a minute. I haven't started the back stitching yet, mostly because I want to take a picture of it once I iron it, and it is not ironed yet, because I want to do a before and after of the back stitching. But it would be nice to start like another small kit soon, even though this is a small kit. Oh boy. I'm trying to figure out if I can risk these last few stitches. Yeah, I think I can. So I kind of want to do like a paint with me, color with me, felt with me, or even like embroidery, because I have a few embroidery kits as well. And I think it would be fun to switch it up once in a while because it helps you not lose your mojo when you're switching between crafts. I will be doing diamond painting soon. I'm not sure how soon. I'm waiting on my friend to diamond paint with me, and so I'm sticking to cross stitch during the day, so I still have the motivation by the time they show up. Hold on, I have a cat hair. Right, I think this is going to be my last stitch for this thread because I don't want to risk it. Okay, you're going to have to work with me. I have to use my camera to do this because I can't see through my camera. My fridge is obnoxious. I actually worked on this one when I went to my rheumatology appointment, which, by the way, as an update, was a complete flop. I went there thinking that they were going to help me with a very specific issue, but instead they tested me for something I was already tested for and proven not to have. So that was, oh, where'd you come from? A little bit upsetting that I wasted all that time there and all those other appointments to get the referral just for them to not even give me the appointment I had wanted. Why do I have so many ends on here that are not cut? Right. In case you're wondering, let me zoom out. This is my little desk trash can, by the way. It's just a cute little green flower, garbage, you know, keeping it simple. Here's my back. I think my back's looking pretty good on this one. But I don't know what I'm going to do with this when I'm done. I'm trying to figure out where I put my green down. Over here, okay. Sorry, my giant mouse pad is green, so it was kind of blending in. can't tell if I got one or two. Here we go. I just realized this ad that is playing over my YouTube video is... it's halfway done and there's still 18 minutes left. Why is there such a long ad on my YouTube video? And how have I not noticed? Okay. Sorry, lost my needle for a minute. Come on, focus so I can see. There we go. More green. I believe I was going up this time. I do a loop start in case you were wondering what I was doing. It's another reason I like 14 count so much. So I need to figure out what to make for dinner tonight, including what to make for my son, because I don't really have a whole lot of food money where I'm trying to save to make sure I'm safe for my taxes. And he's so picky that he's been just turning down everything I've tried to feed him. And he won't eat home-cooked meals, so every time I cook food, I'm cooking like 5 servings for just myself, and my freezer's too full to save a lot, so I try to dump it on my mother, but she likes to cook a lot too, and her roommate does not eat the same foods as her, so she ends up bringing her leftovers to me, and then there's just a whole mess of all this food everywhere. Sorry if that made a lot of noise. It's just my frustrations. I don't know how to cook small portions because I'm used to cooking for a whole family from when I was engaged, because their parents were in our lives too and we all ate dinner together. I don't know. It's so weird. It's such a culture shock to go from being used to your entire family like living together your entire life, like your immediate family, parents, grandparents. Given my father was kind of absent from my life, but everyone else in my family was very close. So going from that and then having that with my partner to suddenly living by myself with just my son it's weird. It's lonely, but at the same time, I prefer my solitude. I mean, to be fair, when I lived with them, I wouldn't be able to do videos like this because, let's just be honest, they were very loud. So now I'm to the point where I'm just waiting for the sun. I'm waiting for the snow so we can go outside and build a snow fort, because I think this is the first year where my breathing has leveled out and my symptoms are like the most minimal, which means, let me skip this ad, it's so bright. Which means hopefully I can actually play outside with him in the snow, assuming we get enough snow this year, because the snow has been getting less and less. So if I see in the weather report that heavy snow is coming and like a lot of it, I will go ahead and order myself some snow pants, mittens, and all that fun stuff, and we can build our little snow forts and snowmen and all that stuff. And I'm hoping to go sledding. There's a very large hill near my mother's house right across the street, so we could go sledding there for the day and then maybe stop by her house and have some cocoa. I don't know if my son will drink cocoa, but you know, maybe if it's room temperature, because he doesn't really do hot drinks or drinks that aren't clear, if I'm being honest at this point. But I think it would be fun. Go sledding, then run over to Grammy's house for warming up real quick. Maybe watch some TV. And I've been trying to get her to do something crafty. She used to draw and do wood burning really beautifully. She used to decorate picnic tables for people. So I've been trying to get her to at least, because she's not going to cross stitch or diamond paint. I've already tried that. So I'm thinking I can get her one of the nicer coloring books, or possibly get her into paint by numbers, because a lot of the paint by numbers are definitely in styles she would do. She's kind of one of those people that likes the sun, the moon, the stars, stuff like that, like the tree of life. She's always been in that. Wolves, she really loves wolves. I just don't want to go ahead and buy her something if she's not going to use it, because she has more expendable income than I do. So I'm going to have to ask her, or next time she comes over, because she usually comes by on Saturdays. So maybe next Saturday when she stops in, I'll just bring her to one of the websites and be like, hey, I was going to buy some paint by numbers. And I think it would be cool if maybe one weekend you could do it with me and we can put on a movie and you can spend actual time here with your grandson and I, and see if she'll be up for that. It'd be nice to have the company, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get company, and it's like every time I reconnect with an old friend, they talk to me very briefly, then they're gone again. And then, you know, we never even like hung out. I don't know, maybe I'm weird or off-putting. I mean, I know I'm a little bit socially awkward and I don't really read body language or social cues correctly. So maybe that's it. Or I just gotta have to find a way to get my younger sister housing back in my home state and just invite her over to craft with me, because she absolutely will do any craft I throw in her face. She's just happy to be doing something. So I've also been wanting to bring this up, but I keep forgetting. If you guys have completed cross-stitch kits, I would love to see literally any photo of any kit. My email is always in the description box below. I can't promise I will respond because I'm not good at holding actual conversations. I get a lot of anxiety. I can maybe tolerate having one friend that I'm having a conversation with like a week or every other day, because yeah, I have very small social battery, so to speak. But I would still be obsessed and very interested in seeing completed kits, because I don't think there's enough photos online, and I don't really want to join a Facebook group because with my autism, the way I talk or word things sometimes causes people to get angry with me, and I just don't understand what I did wrong or what I said wrong. And then I get all this anxiety, I'll go off and cry, and it's just, Facebook does not work for me, you guys. So if you want to share or are willing to share pictures of completed kits with me, please absolutely do so. I really want to see more, especially where I haven't actually completed an 11 count kit yet. I'm just really scared of what the detail's going to be like, because I'm so used to doing Joy Sundays, and I've completed several at this point. So I don't know, I would just love to see them. Oh, also, if you have any pet pictures, if you put your pet in a costume, you need to show me. You can't keep that to yourself. You need to show me that. My cat, sadly, will not be wearing anything. I was going to do a tiny little photo shoot, but my photography camera kind of poo-pooed the bed. I had a family pumpkin head photo shoot planned, but sadly my camera stopped working, so unless I can get the company to fix it, I have to keep it canceled, which is really sad. And I was going to bring my cat because we have a harness, or I don't have a harness. My son's paternal grandmother has a harness because she has 2 cats. And I was going to steal it and then go take pictures with my cat and the family. But we don't get to do that anymore, so I was like, why would I even buy a costume if I can't use it? So I'm going to stop at the bottom of this row. And then I will show you the almost completed 6 Cuties 3. And again, keep in mind I did not iron this yet. It's just been sitting on my stove. I have all of my kits out on my floor right now. I'm trying to like organize them, and I threw 2 away so far. I think 3 I'm gonna upcycle because it has like 18 count. Because I don't really care for 11 count thread, or I don't care for 11 count Aida if it's not in a kit that I'm gonna use. Because washing the printing off just doesn't make sense to me when I'm not going to want to use 11 count. You will not catch me using a counted 11 count kit. Get in there. Oop, wrong one. I'm having a hard time seeing this. Oh. FedEx just swung by. Alright, so it was partially done up here, so we did about here. And let me grab that other kit for you. Sorry about my feet squeaking. As I said, my son has gotten, well, actually no, I said it in a review, so I haven't said it to you yet. My son got Vaseline all over my apartment, including all over my floors, so my foot that is not in the cast is squeaking across the floors. So this is 6 Cuties 3. There are some little lints stuck in some spots. I'll pick those out once I iron it, or before. Super cute. Here, let me lift it. So this is 6 Cuties 3 before the back stitching. Me in a bunch of loose fitting comfy clothes. I got like 7 layers on, my apartment's freezing. And then my squeaking foot on Vaseline. Yes, I know there's a litter box right here. So this is all. I threw this canvas away, but I kept that on it so I can keep track of the threads. This is just kind of like a miscellaneous bin with my own backup threads. I've got some felting kits in there, some piece of wood my mom gave me for some reason. I got 2 of Joy Sunday. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the generic kits. And then in here are my licensed kits, which I have not shown you guys yet, but I plan to at some point. Well, my camera is about to die because I've been recording a ridiculous amount of time. I hope you guys have a great evening. If you go trick-or-treating, I hope you have fun. And don't forget to share those pictures with me, you guys. Have a great evening, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.